I'm Varsha Mahendra here. I started my journey way back 23, 24 years back. When I graduated, I really wanted to do something different, wasn't interested in doing a 9 to 5 desk job. And at that time, we didn't have too many options. Like fashion wasn't so like a prominently like a important career option. People would generally go for government jobs and they would go for bank jobs and things like that. So when I said no to 9 to 5 job, my dad thought I would get into his business or would do something in his line or something like that. But he said, you join MBA. I said, no, I'm looking at something, doing something creative, something with fabrics, something with colors. And he was like, that's not a career, that's just like a hobby. So I said, no, it's not a hobby. It could be a career option. Let me try it out. If it works out, fine. Otherwise, I'll get back to doing MBA or something. So way back then, we didn't have any colleges here. I mean, it was only restricted to being a doctor or an engineer or a school teacher or a bank employee. So the options were very limited. And we didn't have Google, so that we could share each other. I mean, we didn't have... Of course, Google might have been there, but what I mean is we didn't have the search wasn't so common and everybody didn't have mobile phones and we didn't have Pinterest, we didn't have like so many things, Insta, Facebook. So the exposure was much lesser. The media exposure wasn't there at all. So I had to literally, convince my mom and dad that, okay, they were not convinced about me going to Delhi. So I had to convince them, okay, let me go to Mumbai and try it out. I'll do a diploma, I'll work there and see. So I actually got onto working. With hands-on experience, I gained a lot of knowledge. I worked in the export sector where, I learned about textiles. And I realized that it's like not an easy thing. It's a lot of hard work. And I was like wondering whether it's for me or not. But then I enjoyed it. And then when I started, started my own brand, I started doing my exhibitions. I started selling Varsha Mahendra. So that's when I actually used to go to the wholesale markets and buy fabrics and design them and, kind of put exhibitions. When I got successful in the exhibitions, we were sold out in the first exhibitions, completely sold out with a lot of orders. My father was like, okay, like I'm happy. If you really want to go ahead, please go ahead. But I don't know what the future is. So I got a go ahead from my dad. And then eventually I started this business and I got a chance to go to Delhi and do a NIFT program in fashion, and then it's been a long journey. I've associated with the weavers. I loved working with Oxfam. I worked with Oxfam and worked on livelihood of weavers. So basically I was supposed to provide designs to them and market their products, and that's when I got exposure to the weaving and handcrafted textiles, and I started loving them. I saw the effort which has gone into making handcrafted textiles and handlooms. So I thought they don't get the credit for what they do. It's like a laborious thing. So that's when I thought I should kind of work on the handlooms and promote them and probably use more of handloom textiles. So though at that particular time it looked very difficult because using crepes and all is easier to handle, but using handlooms is expensive and difficult. But it is like a handmade thing, and that's what attracted me. And that has been with me from ages. I always go for handmade textiles. Most of the time, if I'm doing a collection of a cocktail or something, it's different thing. But most of my collections is hand woven, handloom based, and then I also started working with kalamkaris. So there were artisans who used to do. I mean, it's a laborious process where they actually do a dip dye of vegetable dye, which is actually made out of haldi and made out of flowers and like organic dyes. So I got involved in that with the artisans, and those were women artisans. And eventually I got involved with the Lambada women who are also women artisans, and they got associated with me. So this is how my journey began. And over the years, I got the opportunity to get some management education as my father desired. Luckily, I got involved with ISB Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women program in 2008-9. And it was an eye-opener for me. I realized that I'm doing a lot of creative stuff, but I'm not branding it, I'm not marketing it well. So I launched this brand called Jus Blouses. And there is a small story behind it about this brand. So when I got married, I had a difficult experience of getting my blouses made with a tailor. And though my saris were very beautiful, I had got all handloom saris from across India, but the blouses weren't to my satisfaction. And there was no one place to go for embroideries and tailoring and everything, and no place where I could try my outfits. So the result wasn't great. So that's when somewhere, I thought I should do something in this. That opportunity I got in 2009 after I graduated 9-10. I launched a brand called Jus Blouses, and like people were ecstatic because they could just come, pick up the blouses and go. With a little bit of alteration, with a little bit of size adjustment, they were getting ready-made blouses, and that's what made them so ecstatic. They said, "This is a major, like you're solving a major problem. You're giving a solution to us." So that really made me make this brand bigger, and we actually opened in US, and and now this is we started in Khairtabad, and then we opened in Banjara Hills in 2014, and now we are in 2022, and thankfully we've opened this is my dream store in Jubilee Hills, and we have a very big variety of blouses here, all kinds of blouses, like whether they are like starting from 1500 to 25,000, and we do bridal wear as well, custom made, ready made, everything, every option is available. And the best part is, it's not about my label, but it's also about when you do custom made clothing, it's about what you want, who you are. So it's not that you're just wearing my design. It's also about what you want, what your personality is, who you are, and that's how we come up with custom made designs.
Hi, my brand name is Asymmetry. It's an androgynous brand. It's for all genders, and the theme is mood-based clothing. So each shirt has a mood. It's named after a particular song that depicts the vibe of it. So whatever your mood is, you can listen to the song, go with the vibe, and pick the shirt accordingly. The prints are very unique and distinctive. It's a resort wear, beach wear, party wear collection. It's a very chill clothing line that I've launched.
Actually inspires me to keep coming back and doing things with Varsha is that, like she said, we were classmates in our ISB program, and we really hit it off well because I think somewhere we connect with our values and what we both are passionate about. And that's probably what keeps us together and bringing us together to keep on expanding each other in whatever we both believe in. So when Varsha told me and said, I want to start a store more upmarket and move to another locality which I need to, my clientele is expanding, So I was so happy for her. So I'm really thankful to her that she actually chose me again. And so it was very smooth, like she said, when she wanted to start a brand, Jus Blouses, and we had just finished our program, and we did a lot of brainstorming about it together, and then we came up with that store. So now when we come here and she's expanded into so many other different areas, so it was again a challenge, but I think, we've done well. So thank you.
Actually, when Varsha told me, I was going to come for the inaugural, and she said, no, I'm being felicitated. I'm like, for what, Because it's actually Varsha who inspired us. And especially handlooms is something I'm passionate about, trees, but also about handlooms. And she's been doing this for, I think, more than 3 decades now, starting with ikat and kalamkari. I remember she was the one who tried different fabrics of kalamkari. It was quite, a huge innovation in that time. So I still remember that, and that's really close to me. And since she wants you to also talk about trees, yes, that's something I do, we are passionate about. This is all part of our heritage. When we talk about heritage, it's clothes, it's monuments, it's our weavers. And similarly, it's even trees who don't, I mean, there are not really many people who realize when they pass them by. And these are our heritage trees and our native trees that I usually talk about and create awareness. And the trees of Chevella, something that's very close to us. And so we're trying to protect I'm part of a nature lovers group that runs a campaign to save trees of Chevella. So that is something I think which Varsha is, I'm so glad to getting this platform to speak about it. We're trying to, keep them in situ. They are, if any of you have gone on that road, you will find it's like a whole canopy. We'd really like people to come and visit and see and appreciate our heritage. That more than, hundreds of year old trees that we're campaigning for them to remain with.